Yo, what is up, y'all? What is up? It's me. I know y'all haven't seen me on here in a minute, but it's me with another and one podcast back here on the Sports Empire Network. I got my guys. We got Con Man in the building. What's going on, Con?
What's going on, y'all?
And as always, I got my guy, Coach Dante, who we just did the Sixers game with. So, we still working. What's going on, Dante?
Hey man, I'm doing good. Happy to be back on N1. I remember being on here a couple of times, but I'm ready to talk some ball. Let's talk some basketball.
All right, so I know the Sixers just won against the Warriors, and Steph Curry is going to be out for a while. So my question to you guys is, how can the Warriors stay in the race without a Steph Curry? What do they have to do to keep winning, to try to keep winning games while he's out? Dante, I'll start with you.
Well, what they're gonna have to get some next man up guys. They're gonna have to get some contributors like Dante DiVincenzo tonight. Had a solid game early. He was hot early tonight. Klay Thompson got to shoot the basketball better. But how you shoot the ball better? How do you shoot the ball better? By having better shot selection. He has to have better shot selection. Kevon Looney's got to do whatever he can to rebound the basketball. You just have to have guys out there that's ready to come out there and play. You have to have shooters like Anthony Lamb contributing, and every night you're gonna have to have a different guy step up. But the key is Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole got a big contract. He got a big contract early on this season. He's gonna have to be the guy. We've seen this guy light it up. We've seen him light it up back and forth last year. He's gonna have to be that next man up if Steph Curry is out. He's in the starting lineup. No Draymond Green in the lineup as well. That's another thing that hurts him too. Having that leadership on the court and the guy that can handle the basketball and guard the other team's best player, he's going to have that. So at the end of the day, it's going to have to be a multitude of guys, team effort, coaching. But Jordan Poole is going to have to be that next guy to step up for Steph Curry. You have to have different guys like DiVincenzo, Jonathan Kuminga. They just brought Bosman back up from the G League. He's another guy that got to chip in. So it's going to have to be with a team effort, basically be a team effort every single night. But, Jordan Poole got the contract for a reason, and I'm going to hold him to it. He's got to be the man to step up in Steph Curry absences.
All right, Con, what do the Warriors got to do to keep afloat until Curry comes back?
Coach, explained it pretty well like he normally does. But I agree with him 100%. But also, again, as you said, next man up, and their bench has to step up. Everyone has to step up. They have to take, again, Wiggins not playing also has made a major impact. So once he comes back, I think they'll solidify at least their starting rotation as well. But I mean, Klay Thompson, y'all didn't mention too much about Klay. Klay has to really come to play. I mean, he needs to step up and be that consistent person that they definitely. I think Poole, like you said, he got the bag, and I think he's going to come through. I think Klay Thompson has to really show that leadership. I think he has to come through. I mean, 4 for 17. That's not going to make it. That's not going to cut it. 4 for 17. Come on, kid, that ain't going to cut it. So he's got to step up. He got to really do the damn thing. And also, I was really, really impressed. This offseason with Kuminga. I thought he would really step up. He has the potential. He has the athleticism. I mean, the guy can jump off the gym. But again, maybe because he's still a baby, so he doesn't have that consistency yet. So he's not really consistent yet. But I think once he learns about the NBA game, I think he's gonna thrive as well. But to answer your question, Key, Draymond's obviously got to play, and they all got to step up. Like Coach said, they brought Wiseman. They all just got to step up and take on that responsibility, because I guess Steph's going to be out maybe 3-4 weeks, maybe more, maybe less.
Yeah, if he said he doesn't want surgery. He's going to see if he can get it, because if he has to get surgery, he's going to be out 4 to 6 months.
But something, if they can just somehow stay afloat. I mean, I'm not talking about no championship, but if they can just stay afloat until he gets back, then they can get in the play-in, and then it's anybody's ball game. But in order for them to do that, they're going to have to step it up. And, like Coach said, man, these guys, got to watch out for my man Jordan Poole. He got that bag. So a lot of responsibility is going to be placed on his shoulders, and hopefully he can come through.
Most definitely. But the Warriors did drop the game tonight. DiVincenzo was on fire. That's who you want to have continue to take shots to help until Curry comes back. But definitely Klay Thompson got to get involved more. Klay can't be shooting no 4 for 14 every night. They're definitely not going to win. And Draymond Green, he's in there. He's the emotional leader for that team. Say what
Yes.
y'all want about Draymond. He might be the villain. Y'all might like him, might not like him. Technical fouls, but he is that emotional leader on that team. Say what y'all want, but he is that emotional leader on
Oh
that
yeah.
Warriors
Oh
team.
yeah. Oh yeah. Mhm.
All right, let me get my list out here because I sure enough wasn't ready. Where is it? Um, all right, so what we got on the agenda for tonight? So MVP topics for the NBA. I know Jason Tatum is playing hell of a basketball right now, and so is Giannis. But is Jason Tatum MVP? Go ahead, Con. I'll start with you.
You know, that is a real tough question. I mean, he's playing at an MVP level, and the Celtics have the best record. Usually, they usually take the team with the best record, the best player on the best team. Usually gets consideration. I'll tell you what I think's going to happen and what should happen. I think that Tatum should be definitely given consideration, but I guarantee you it's going to be Luka that's going to get it. Now y'all like, why is he saying that? Who has won the MVP the last 4 years?
Somebody that's not American.
Thank you. Oh, there you go. There you go. But I think Tatum's definitely warrants consideration as well. But you got a lot of guys playing out of their mind. You got Embiid, you got Giannis, you got Tatum, you got a lot. You got Dame Lillard now is acting a fool right now. So you got a lot of guys who are acting real well. You got Donovan Mitchell. I mean, you got guys. I mean, the NBA man this year. There's so many people. I think there's 7 to 8 guys averaging over 30 points per game. I mean, that's unheard of, man. So I mean, to me, it's still too early to tell. I mean, we're not even at the All-Star break. But as of right now, I would definitely say he's top 3. I won't say he's the front runner. Yeah, I think he's about top 2 or 3.
Coach?
Well, I'm gonna stick with pick. I'm gonna stick with Giannis. I think Giannis does so much for his team. I'm not gonna look at the blowout last night because I mean it happens. Like it happens in the NBA. Everybody's gonna have an off night, and the way Giannis plays in the Milwaukee Bucks, you know, they were bound for an off night. They even had an off night against my Houston Rockets. So I'm not gonna really. You're gonna have games like that when you MVP in the regular season. Not gonna show up. You just need them when it matters the most. You just need them to show up when the big time matters. But Giannis does so much for that team, and 80% of the time this year he didn't have Chris Middleton. And that's the Bucks' second best player. That's the Bucks' second best player. A 20-point per game scorer, a borderline all-star when he's healthy. I agree with Comment on Luka. Adongi, but I think what's going to kind of slow down Luka. I think they need one more score because with Luka up out of the lineup, the Mavericks are not that good of a basketball team, and Luka does so much for that team. He got to create every play. He got to create every shot for this team. Without Luka or with Luka not having a good game, I question the Dallas Mavericks not being able to be that good, especially how good the Pelicans got in the Western Conference. You know, Phoenix going to be there. You know what Memphis did to the Bucks last night. They're going to be up there. So I question if Luka's not having a good game, who's going to be stepping up for Dallas. That's the only thing. No, Luka's still going to get heels, but that's the only thing about Luka and the Mavericks. It's going to take votes away from because the team is under 500. They're barely over 500. And where you really give the MVP to someone, you know, that's borderline not winning, but Luka, like I say, Luka is a really great player, man. That guy does so much for Dallas, and it may hurt him. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. You got a superstar over there in Jaylen Brown on a rise in Jason Tatum. So, again, Jason Tatum deserves consideration, but at the end of the day, I'm going to stay with my pick the whole year. Giannis, that dude, without Chris Middleton been playing great basketball. 80% of the time, he didn't have Chris Middleton on the floor, and he was still able to put up gaudy numbers. The team still winning. Still was able to win games. So I'm going to stick with my pick throughout the whole year in Giannis for the MVP.
What's going on, Gene? We got Gene from Wire to Wire here in the building. What's going on, Gene?
What up, y'all? How you feeling?
What's up, y'all?
So the question is Jason Tatum an MVP?
I mean, as of right now, he is. I don't think he will be at the end of the year, but I mean, as of right now, he's the MVP of the league. They have the best team, best record. He has been dominant. Yeah, but my pick before the season was Luka, and I'm gonna stick with Luka. That's kind of who I had, and I'm not against it. I said Luka and then Giannis would be my 1-2, and doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. Jason Tatum's definitely playing his ass off though.
Most definitely. The question before that was, what can the Warriors do to stay afloat while Curry's not in there?
Exactly what they did tonight. Jordan Poole was balling. They still play with no Wiggins, no Draymond, and they still played Philadelphia strong almost all 4 quarters. It was a 10-point game, yeah, but with that being said, I don't think that I think the Warriors will be fine. They have so much depth on that team. Jordan Poole is a stud. He's really starting to get the rhythm back. Andrew Wiggins, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. Without Steph Curry, they're a playoff team. And you miss him for a couple weeks, okay. You just need him back by the playoffs or the stretch run. Obviously, you will have him back way before then, but that team should be able to make the playoffs without Steph Curry. Like that team as constructed, they're just that good.
They definitely do got a deep bench as well. So Khan says Luka. Gene says Tatum is right now, but he's going with Luka at the end, and coach is sticking with Giannis. That MVP can go either way. Right now, Embiid's leading the league in scoring, and then LeBron is right under him, and then Luka's right under him. So I mean, who's to say that Embiid could get his way back into the talks? But we won't know. Next question is: LeBron said winning a title means more than a scoring record. Y'all believe that?
Winning one title means more than a scoring record? No, I don't believe that. Like I'm sorry, I don't. I think that LeBron James is saying what he needs to say now to let his teammates know what the situation is now. But no, I do not believe that winning one title this year means more than the all-time scoring record.
Well, first of all, before you even talk about that, you got to get close to the goddamn championship. First of all, and I don't think he's going to even get close to it. So I don't think he's going to even get close to it. If the playoffs start today, he's not even in the playoff. He's not even in the playoffs. So at the end of the day, before you start talking about, which is great, which is he will be the leading all-time NBA leader in scoring. You got to get past. You got to get even close to winning a championship. And I don't think this Lakers team or him is going to be any close to getting a championship anytime soon. The way the West is stacked up right now, New Orleans, became better, became a juggernaut. We already know what Ja Morant them did. I mean, to Milwaukee last night. One of those off nights for Milwaukee, but Ja Morant them are really, really good. Even without Ja Morant, they still was a great team last year. They were 20-2 without Ja Morant last year. That's without their best player, they were 20-2. So that team still can play with or without them. So LeBron ain't gonna get nowhere even close to it, but he will get the all-time leading score. But before he start talking about he need to get close to trying to win a championship, and he's nowhere close to it right now.
He's gonna be 11-17 after tonight.
Yep.
My take is I think that he's saying all the right things now because look where they're at. They're basically terrible this year, and even if he were to get the scoring record. And they don't even make a play in. How much of effect is that going to have?
Right.
How much is that scoring title going to mean this year if they can't even make a play in? It's going to be like like another story. It's not going to be no big effect. And I think if he or the Lakers were in a championship race or had an opportunity to go far in the playoffs, I think it would mean more to him to get that scoring title. But the fact is, the way they're playing right now, that scoring title is not going to really mean that much. So in that regard, I think right now, the way things stand, I think he would rather have the championship right now because he's going to get the scoring title no matter what. But I think he would prefer to have the championship right now.
Con, can I respond to that real quick? Respect.
You sure can.
I respect the hell out of you, man. But I do, and I think that you have. So you spit real solid facts, and you know the game better than most people I've ever talked to. But I think that we might be overlooking what that scoring, that all-time scoring title would mean. And even if this year, y'all remember Kobe's last game, right? Like, what do you remember about Kobe's last game? He went out there and dropped 60.
Yep.
So, like, we don't remember the fact that the Lakers were absolute bums that season and they stunk and they didn't play in the playoffs at all. And I think that no matter what the situation is, the night he breaks the record, I think that it'll mean way more than any championships ever met. Like, so like when we talk about Kareem, right? And we talk about 5 championships, we talk about the all-time leading scorer. We talk about the all-time leading scorer. If it was 4 championships, 5 championships, 6 championships, that's cool. If it's 4 or 5 or 5 or 6, but he's the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. I think the moment LeBron passes Kareem for all-time leading scorer, Kareem falls down a peg in the greatest players of all time. And I hate saying it that way, but like I think that's the only thing that puts him above Wilt on most people's lists is the fact that he's the all-time scoring leader. So like him being second there, I think Kareem drops down to 5, 6, or 7 in the greatest players ever to play the game. So I think it means a ton.
Now let me respond to that. Now, me being a competitor that I was and I am, I play to win. So points don't mean a damn thing. I play to win. And the ultimate goal is to win. We can talk about all those scoring records. If you're a competitor, you go out there to win. And I truly believe that LeBron wants to win. And like I said, he's going to get the record. He's going to get it. I mean,
I agree with you. I just think that like that scoring title means so much. And for his legacy. So I think the one point that you made that I can agree with is you said this year he would want a championship more than the scoring title because he's going to get the scoring title. I get
Correct.
that. That makes sense. But if you look back at his career, do you think he's going to be thinking about his 5th championship, or do you think he's going to be thinking about
hell to the no?
Exactly.
I'm just going by this shit, boss. That's all.
Yeah.
Oh man, but definitely. I mean, you got a chance to be the greatest of all time when it comes to scoring. Nobody around you. I mean, you would be chasing that scoring title. It'd be nice to have the ring as well, but like Dante said, you got to get in there first. You got to get there first. So, what's going on with Phoenix? What is up with the collapse?
Who wants to go first? Phoenix. Well, Phoenix is really. I didn't expect them to be that good anyway. Phoenix right now, you got Chris Paul, who's 185 years old. I mean, he doesn't really play consistently, and I think that's a major factor as well. They just seem like they had a rough off season. They didn't want to pay Ayton. I think that caused a major little problems with the team itself from the get go. I think that was a major flaw as well. The Phoenix Suns. I just don't see them as being. They're one of them teams, like I always say, they get there, but they can't get there. Do you know what I mean? They can get there, but they can't. They don't have enough to get them over the top. That's what I think. And right now, I think Chris Paul, first of all, he got to play. He's got to play a little bit more, and their bench has to come through as well.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Paul, to me, he kind of deteriorated. Chris Paul is just not the same Chris Paul. He's declined. You can tell he doesn't make the mid-range as consistently no more. He doesn't make the 3 anymore. He doesn't have explosiveness anymore. So his hamstring and everything can go out on him pretty fast. Devin Booker has been in and out of the lineup. He's been the most consistent player that they have. And to be honest, when I see Phoenix play, I look at DeAndre Ayton body language, and Phoenix has hesitated to pay him in the offseason. Indiana wanted to pay him his money. Phoenix went on and matched it, but I think something caught me an eye on DeAndre Ayton. Body language doesn't look good. He didn't look like he wanted to be in Phoenix because he felt disrespected by Coach Monty Williams, and I think that still kind of affected him a little bit. I don't think he really wants to be in Phoenix. Cam Johnson's been hurt all year, their best shooter. He's been hurt all season long. And you really don't have a deep bench. You really don't have nobody you can play on the bench. Cameron Payne, yes, he can come put up points, but I'm not really sold on Cameron Payne, not in playoff mode. But outside of that, you're not deep at the bench position. Mikal Bridges has not really played as well this year as he been playing the last couple of years, and DeAndre Ayton just give me a weird vibe. I don't think he wanted to be there. And it's just still I think it's a chemistry issue between him, the coaching staff, and the team as well. I think it's some friction along with the team. Phoenix is just not no more than a threat to anybody this year. I can see them the right matchup being a first round exit. I think they still make the playoffs, but I can see them being a first round exit easily.
I kind of waited on this one because I really have some strong feelings about it. So, two things. I'll start with this one. Marcus Smart, Draymond Green. And I know they're not. Just let's think of the best teams in the NBA. PJ Tucker. Let's think of Giannis. They all have something. They all have a toughness to them. Jay Crowder was that dog.
I was gonna say. I should have said that. I should have pointed out. They needed Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder is hurting them. The way they lose him, Jay Crowder is hurting. That's an anchor of that defense. Yep.
And I feel like that Chris Paul is a great regular season point guard because you can never tell that man he can't win a basketball game. He always wants to go out there no matter what and find a way to win a basketball game. He's been a tryhard his whole career. I love him, and I'm not going to let the Chris Paul disrespect or slander happen. I'm not saying y'all are doing that, but like I hear it all over. People,
I love him. I love Chris Paul. I'm with you. I love him. I love him. I love Chris Paul.
Secondly, this team is soft, man, and I don't mean it like
DeAndre Ayton.
Ayton is one of the softest big men in the league. Devin Booker got punked. It's like, Devin Booker looks like somebody like when Luka punked him last year and they beat them by like 50 in game 7. It's like someone killed his puppy right in front of him. And like he walking around like he's just not that guy. Like his whole career, they told him he's the next Kobe. And he's like Kobe without the dog. Like he's got all the athleticism, all the intangibles, or not the intangibles, the skill set to be a player that mimics Kobe's skill set, but he's never going to be Kobe because he doesn't have that Mamba mentality. So I think that team is soft, man. And I like Mikal Bridges, but like you're not like worried about his toughness. DeAndre Ayton, you're not worried about his toughness. He's weak. Devin Booker and Chris Paul is deteriorating. Guys, he's 37.
Yes,
he is.
Yep.
37 years old. You should be playing point guard in the NBA. I give him all the credit in the world. But, Father Time has been undefeated. Actually, they had one loss, Tom Brady. But eventually, they're going to be undefeated. And that's what's happening to Chris Paul right now.
And to go back on the comments that you said, this team is soft. And it starts with DeAndre Ayton. He is soft. He's been soft throughout this whole year. When I looked at the Phoenix versus the Boston game, and it was 3 times he got the ball just taken away from him. He just got the ball taken away from him by a guard like it wasn't nothing. Like it just wasn't nothing. He's just not mentally tough. And I just think he has second thoughts about signing that contract with Phoenix. I think he really wants a fresh change of scenery. And this team is just not a very good team. And like I can see a first round exit for Phoenix, man. With the Chris Paul deterioration, then you lost a guy that had toughness. And Jay Crowder, yes, he can be inconsistent from the outside, but he's your best and your hard-nosed defender. He's not afraid to get up in people or get a technical foul. He's just not afraid of it. And you need those guys like a Draymond Green and like him on that team that can light a fire up under this team, and they just don't have it right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, Ayton didn't have to say it. He didn't have to take the contract from the Suns. He could have been like, you know what, I'm going to go with Indiana. And
he did.
Think about
restricted free agent. When a restricted free agent signs a tender,
he can match it.
Yeah, they matched it. That's the problem. They matched it. He couldn't do nothing about it.
When Phoenix matched it, he had no choice.
Yeah.
The only like he didn't think Phoenix was going to match it, in my opinion. But I think that as soon as he signed that tender with Indiana, the Suns could have matched it, and there's nothing he could do about it.
I mean, his numbers.
Yeah, he does. I agree.
Yeah, he does. You see it in his face when he's on the court. You see his body language. You see his body language every time, and you just see him. Like I just say, he gets the ball taken away from him more than any big man in the league, and it just seemed like he's not. It just seemed like he's up out of it. He was done with Phoenix, and he was hoping Phoenix don't match that offer sheet with Indiana because he wanted to be in Indiana. It's just not, the chemistry is bothering. I think the chemistry with him and Chris Paul, that has been lost, and especially the coaching style. Monty Williams kind of called him off and stopped talking to him in the finals, in the NBA finals, and called him out. So again, that kind of got to him mentally. So I think it's a lot of it's just bothering DeAndre Ayton. He didn't want to be in Phoenix. He didn't want them to match it. He wanted to be away from Phoenix. He wanted a new scenery, and that was within Indiana. Unfortunately, he couldn't do nothing about it because Phoenix just got him back. Go ahead.
The numbers he's putting up don't want that bag he got.
Yep.
I mean, 17 points, 9.5 rebounds a game. I mean, the way it is right now, that's kind of like normal. That's like average right now, considering the bag he got. You know what I mean? He might be just going through
Monty Williams has been a good coach ever since he's been in the league. From when he was assistant coach with the 76ers to now.
Yep.
If Monty Williams calls you out for quitting on your team, which DeAndre Ayton did, there's no reason for me not to believe DeAndre Ayton quit on his team. I think the Suns front office made a bad decision by even signing that tender. I think they thought they would sign him and trade him. I mean, it's still to be determined.
Joe Ingles is going to be back for the Bucks. Is that another shooter? Definitely the Bucks could use.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, it's definitely another piece that the Bucks can use. Great. He's an elite shooter. He's just not a shooter. He's an elite shooter, and he also a pretty good passer too. He's a pretty good passer throughout his years in Utah. So he definitely brings some elite shooting and high basketball IQ for the Milwaukee Bucks coming off that bench. So I think that's a big help for the Milwaukee Bucks to surround Giannis with someone that can really shoot and also that can get the ball up out his hands and be kind of like a high IQ playmaking type of shooter as well. So that's a good move from the Bucks getting Joe Ingles, and I really like Joe Ingles as a shooter and contributing what he was doing in Utah. I think he brings some of that to Milwaukee.
I think that this is going to sound really bad because they're both white, but I feel like that. Would you rather have Joe Ingles in the game or Grayson Allen? And like that's the spot he's taking. So when Joe Ingles comes back, Grayson Allen's going to sit his ass on the bench. It's just Joe Ingles is like a better version of Grayson Allen that doesn't play dirty. If I'm being real with you.
I hear you. Grayson Allen's he's not well liked in the NBA.
He shouldn't be.
Or the NCAA for that matter.
He's a dirtball. He is. He's a dirtball. He's a dirty ass player, man.
Yeah, he definitely is that. I got no argument here on that one.
Joe Ingles is a great pick and roll along with the 40% free throw shooting. Brett would know that's his squad. Weakness on defense, but the Bucks is perfect to cover that up.
When you got Giannis that can just take one leap and he's on the other side of the goddamn court.
Right. All you gotta do is take 2 steps. He's down the court. Jeez. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You're gonna watch Giannis before his career is over. You're gonna watch Giannis dunk from the 3-point line. And you're gonna be like, what happened? Is that a 3? Is that a 2? Like, it's gonna happen.
So the Nets. We was looking at the Nets, and the Nets we didn't think they were even going to make the playoffs, but they had a good surge, and now they're the 4th seed. What's going on in Brooklyn?
I'm gonna tell you right now. You know what's going on? They're finally playing the way that they should be playing right now. The only thing is, sometimes when you have to depend on, like Kyrie ended up winning the game tonight with that last second shot he did over Van Fleet. Kyrie's playing well. KD's playing well. I think that the Nets, they're on a winning streak. They won 5 games in a row. They're 18-12. I think that they're coming together, and a couple of their guys are getting back to getting healthy again, and they're just realizing that this is their year, because if they don't do it this year, their whole team's gonna break up. I think they feel that this is the year. Give them a chance while they're all healthy, while they're all playing. At least they get a chance to play together as much as they are, because they've hardly all well. How many games have KD and Kyrie played since they've been on the Nets? Not that many. So now
They just
they
reached
get
the
to play
full
a lot more.
season.
Huh?
They just reached a full season together.
Right. Exactly. And
3 years to do it.
Exactly. So I mean, at least they're getting to play a lot more together, and they seem to be in a little bit more of a rhythm. They run a winning streak right now. See what happens.
Yeah, Coach.
I think, like I say, Jock Vaughn is doing a hell of a job. He's doing a hell of a job with this team. Got to give him credit. The assistant coach, they got fired. When Steve Nash was fired, you got to give him credit to what they done. And Kyrie being able to play. But like I say, how long would it last? Because again, I don't trust Kyrie to play a whole season. He can check out anytime, and he does have some mental issues. So you just never know when Kyrie is going to happen again. But as long as he's on the basketball court, this team can stay competitive, and the scoring machine that Kevin Durant is, he can those two, they can do some good things for Brooklyn. Now, whether if it results in a championship now, I don't think it would, but this team is good enough to stay in a playoff, be a playoff team, stay within fourth or fifth, right between now. And then they also got some good players too, man. And Ross O'Neal is a good 3-and-D player. Curry is a very great elite shooter. He probably the defense is not good on his side, but he gives you some shooting out there. If Joe Harris can stay more consistent in shooting and in the playoffs, they can be fine. And Claxton them with the energy. And Patty Mills coming off the bench. This is a solid team, but Kyrie's got to be able to be consistent in playing. He's got to show some commitment in playing full time. If he can do that, this team can be dangerous for anybody in the first round. And Coach Jacques Vaughn is doing a very good job, but it's all upon Kyrie Irving if he keeps playing full time.
You know what happened with the Nets? You asked what happened with the Nets, Key. I love the question. What happened with the Nets is more players start playing on the court. Their roster has never been bad. They got a good roster. It's just a lot of them weren't playing. Seth Curry's playing. Patty Mills is playing. Yeah. Joe Harris is playing. Ben Simmons has 19 games under his belt. Kyrie Irving. And listen, bro, help me with the guy's name. Watanabe. Am I saying it right?
I said Watanabe. Oh, yeah, the left-handed shooter. Yeah, I don't know his name. Yeah, he's playing well too.
Bro, Nick Claxton, Royce O'Neal, they got a roster full of players that can play basketball.
Yeah.
But with that being said, early in the season, most of them were out. Ben Simmons was crying to his mommy. Kyrie was, making comments on Amazon films and being suspended by the team. Like in reality, none of them were playing. That's why KD was getting so frustrated. But now that they're all on the court, they're really too talented to look past. And I don't know any team that wants to see them in a 7-game series. There's just a lot of talent there.
And you guys didn't bring up one guy who hasn't really participated yet, T.J. Warren. Yeah. You remember how he played in the bubble? And he's becoming he's not. I mean, he's not. Where he's going to be in about another month. And also the fact is, you know what they're missing? They're missing a rim protector. That's what if they can get a rim protector, a good big man. I got a couple of names I can think of, but y'all probably shut me down if I tell you some names. But anyway, I think that if they can get a rim protector to help on the defensive end, I think that could definitely stabilize them and make them even more tough team to deal with in the playoff run.
I mean, you're right, but listen, we can say we want Nick Claxton's playing a hell of a center.
Yes.
He's a good energy center.
I think he's averaging 2.5 blocks a game. It's definitely over 2. I think it's close to 2.5 a game. But with that being said, you're right, man. They need more toughness. They have the other Marsh brother, which is toughness. Yep. He doesn't play too much. But, they need a center. They need a strong center, somebody that's going to smack you when you come in the lane. I agree.
Exactly.
And I want to bring up another name that I really like on Brooklyn, too, that won a game for him against Indiana. That had a big game. He's a young player. Cam Thomas has been really, really good. Really, really good, man, for them, man. A tough guy that can, when Kyrie don't play, that can provide some scoring off of the bench. He's a really good young stud that can come out there, and when he played in Indiana, he looked damn good when he actually gets some playing time. So this Brooklyn team has some players, and they would definitely be a tough out depending on the matchup with anybody in the Eastern Conference. They would definitely be a tough out if this team can actually play, like Gene said.
And too, another thing I just want to bring up, is the fact that now they got some perimeter shooting as well. I mean, if Harris can hit that perimeter shot, you got Curry. He's dangerous. I mean, the Nets, man, and of course you got Kyrie. I mean, Patty Mills, he ain't no slouch. I mean, they got a good, solid team. Like you said, they're healthy. They're playing. They're just getting more playing time, and they're going to be that much more effective.
Agreed.
All right, and you've seen the rise of the Pelicans right now. Pelicans are playing great over there in the West. What's the reason why they're playing so well?
Can I start this one?
You go ahead.
I picked the Pelicans to go to the NBA Finals before the season started, and I got laughed at. Not by y'all, but I got laughed at. And that's okay. I'm good with that. I know the New Orleans Pelicans were listed as the 8th or 9th best team in the Western Conference, odds-wise coming in. I'm telling you, with the talent that they have, and Willie Green at the helm, Willie Green is a very underrated coach, man. I really wish people would understand how Zion Williamson came in shape and is dominating. Brandon Ingram hasn't even played much. Imagine adding B.I. back to that. You got B.I., C.J. McCollum, Zion Williamson. And listen, my man Alvarado.
Yes.
I love that kid. That kid is
Spanish Harlem.
Look, New Orleans was my pick to come out of the West. And I think that it doesn't sound so crazy anymore. I bet the over 44.5 for wins. They're going to crush that. Yeah.
I'm gonna go back on your statement. Like I got the New Orleans Pelicans making the playoffs, but finals I'm a whole lot. But at the end, I'm gonna go more players. I'm gonna go more players since you was naming players to kind of back you up a little bit, Gene, to give people some knowledge on what this team is. And like it's more Brent B.I. hasn't played in a while. He hasn't played in a while. Zion Williamson is a stud. He can put the ball on the floor, get to the basket anytime he wants to. Then, like I say, he started making the three more better. C.J. McCollum, one of the most underrated two guards in the NBA. Alvarado. When you got guys like that, they put it all on the line. That's not afraid to come at you. That's not afraid to guard you 90 feet up the court. You got a second team all defensive guy, rookie last year, in Herbert Jones, who can knock down the three in the corner. You got Trent Murphy, who can hit threes as well. You got Marshall that can come off the bench. You got depth, and you got a good coaching staff and Willie Green as well. And this team is playing some good defense as well, man. This team is playing some really good defense, and Zion really showed he deserved every penny of that bag that he got. He deserved every penny of that bag. Now, if he can stay healthy and stay in shape with the talent he got around him, and when B.I. comes back and be healthy, and you got C.J. McCollum right there. That's one of the most underrated two guards in the NBA that can fill it up, that can dribble, and also run the point guard position. The Pelicans, man, can be scary in the Western Conference. And they gave Phoenix a good run in the playoffs last year, a number one seed, a good run in the playoffs last year, man. They can get at least to the Western Conference Finals, depending on the matchups that they played. This Warriors are struggling. Phoenix is not the same no more. Dallas, outside of Luka, you don't got anyone that you can trust outside of Luka. Luka literally has to do everything for Dallas, literally for everything to work. He got to set up everybody, got to create his own shot. Like I say, they have a good chance. They have a good chance to get to the Western Conference Finals the way the West is right now. You don't know about the Clippers right now. Only team you can say is the Memphis Grizzlies. That's really strong. That's a really strong team right now. But I like the chances of them getting to the Western Conference Finals with this team right here. B.I. comes back healthy.
And something we forgot to mention too is man, I'm having time.
Jonas Valanciunas is third inside. Yep,
I gotta take a Spanish class. But I mean, you got him, I mean, he can ball out, and then you got Larry Nance Jr. I mean, they got depth. They're young. They're hungry. They're fun to watch. Alvarado plays out of his mind. I mean, they're a fun team to watch, just like Memphis. The NBA, the Western Conference is, we're going to finally get some parity. I think the Western Conference is going to be tough. We don't know who's going to come out the West right now. I don't know. Maybe y'all know. I don't know.
Eastern Conference is better than the West.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
right now. And I want to bring
I give you that.
You were talking about the depth in the on the team. Do you know? It sounds crazy to me because Devontae Graham just a few years ago was holding off LaMelo Ball as the starting point guard on Charlotte, and he's 12th in minutes per game on this New Orleans Pelicans team. Like, I'm just saying, like, when you look at, there's so many good basketball players, and we talk about iron sharpens iron. Their second team going at their first team in practice is, you know what I mean? Like, that's not a walk in the park second team. I don't know. I love the way the Pelicans are constructed, and I'm a huge Willie Green fan as a coach. I've been advocating for that man as much as I possibly can. I'm a big fan of his. So, yeah. I called it before the season started, and I can't take a victory lap yet. They're nowhere near the finals, but it doesn't sound so crazy anymore.
Not at all. Not at all.
All right, because I know we don't have that much time left, but they did rename some of the awards that we're used to seeing. The MVP trophy now is named after Michael Jordan, and there is a little Michael Jordan figurine for the MVP. Y'all like the ideas of the awards being called after players?
You guys want to go first? Because I got a few things to say. You all want to go first?
Go ahead, Gene. So you can start it off.
Yes, I do. When you talk about the most valuable player in the league, why would it not be the greatest player to ever play the game? I don't listen. We can pick and choose. Like, do you have the whole list of the new names of players? Like, I know I looked at it earlier. If you don't mind, if you just like spit it out real quick.
Yep. 1 second.
You're good. But Michael Jordan being the MVP is kind of a no-brainer, right? Like, he was the best player ever to play the game. The most valuable player award named after him makes perfect sense.
Yep, and I agree with you 1,000%. I'm gonna go back to the Defensive Player of the Year award when they had my guy Keem Olajuwon.
Yeah.
That guy's the most underrated center that nobody really ever speaks on or talks about. If you watch this guy actually play the game, man, how dominant he was on the defensive side of the ball. Not only dominant on the defensive side, he would dominate on the offensive side of the ball. It was so many moves he had in the post that people couldn't figure out. I mean, he was very long. He can shoot the basketball as well. He had footwork like a guard. His footwork was like a guard inside. And Keem Olajuwon, nowhere where you were coming out on the paint, and he can also play the perimeter. So I really liked that award, and the Michael Jordan award, definitely. What better to have an MVP after the greatest player to ever play the game, that ever left up a pair of sneakers. But the Defensive Player of the Year award, I really like that with Keem Olajuwon. The all-time leader in shot blocks. No center is not even close to that. The Kendi Mutombo is second in all-time blocks. He's not even close to Keem Olajuwon. You're talking about a guy that led his team to the NBA Finals twice without even having a star up on that team, without even having a star or a superstar. Clyde Drexler was on the team, but he wasn't a star at the time or a superstar at that time. He wasn't even voted into an all-star team. So Clyde Drexler, Olajuwon, one of the most underrated centers nobody really ever talk about in the game. Fortunately, like I said, I got him on my top 10 list as well. So at the end of the day, man, I like Michael Jordan and Keem Olajuwon. I kind of like those trophies, man. Why not have them? The best offensive player and the best defensive player. Why not?
Yeah. The only one I didn't like. Good.
Wilt Chamberlain, they gave Rookie of the Year.
That makes sense. But the only one I didn't like was that they have Jerry West for a clutch award. I think that's a terrible award. Number one, it's a very tough thing to measure. And number two, really? Like, I'm not like, there's a lot of other people they could have gave a clutch gene award to. Like, that'd have been a perfect, in my personal opinion, that'd have been a perfect send off for Kobe Bryant.
I was just gonna say that, yeah.
Like, I feel like he's always hit those big shots. Or even Larry Legend, man. Larry Legend would walk up to you, tell you, "Hey, man, I'm gonna take you right in this corner over here. I'm gonna bust your ass, and I'm gonna make this shot right in this corner, and you ain't gonna do nothing about it."
And he did it.
So, like, I get it. Jerry West, to me, I get the logo, bro. I get it, but I don't know. Just not my cup of tea there. Especially when you appeal to a new age like basketball watcher, right? Because 90% of them never even heard of Jerry West.
Yeah, I heard of him but never watched him. Couldn't watch him in my time. Yeah,
right. That was before our time.
Yep.
I'm sorry, y'all, man. I'm old as dirt, so I remember all them people, man. Unfortunately, or unfortunately, however you want to look at it. But yeah, they have the Jerry West Trophy, the Akeem Olajuwon Trophy, the Will Chamberlain Trophy, award to the Rookie of the Year, John Havlicek Trophy, award to the NBA Sixth Man of the Year, and they got the George Mikan Trophy award to the NBA Most Improved Player of the Year. Here's my take. Me, claim that I am the basketball historian, and that's questionable. But anyway, I like the fact that they still try to keep the memories of these players who have paved the way for all these guys to be making $40 million a year. And I'm glad that they're giving a little bit of respect and credence to these guys who, have gone through hell and back just so the players of today can have the way, the opportunity to have the opportunity that they have right now. So I appreciate that. Do I think they went a little overboard with all these damn awards? I don't know. I mean, you're giving special appreciation for these guys and what they contribute to the game. So I'm not going to really go against it. But as far as the MVP, of course, Michael Jordan, you got to go with that. I have no problem with that. Now, what's going to be the next one? You gave 6. What's going to be the next one? I mean, think about what's going to be the next one. Who knows?
The next award going to be the crossover award, which you get an AI. That's going to be the next one. The AI award, which I would like? Best crossover.
Yeah, I hear you. You know what I would like, though, gentlemen and ladies? You know what I would like? I would like this one. Strong arm. What I mean by that, someone who can play 82 games a year. You know what I mean? Something like that. I guarantee not too many people will get that award.
Yeah.
I think the NBA really misses the boat by not having a comeback player of the year award. They have a most improved, but they don't have a comeback player of the year award. So the funny story is, right? Like Zion Williamson should be winning comeback player of the year, but he won't win most improved because SGA is absolutely insanity.
Insane.
Yeah, he's up.
So it's tough not having 2 awards for comeback player of the year and most improved because they're 2 different things.
Yeah.
NBA doesn't have a
they named Coach of the Year after Red Auerbach. That's the Coach of the Year trophy.
I'm gonna stop. I should shut up. I end up saying some shit I shouldn't say on the air.
Yeah.
You feel like I'm not trying to be smart, but you feel like these awards are a little white. They are. I'm sorry. Like, if you think about it, Red Auerbach, Jerry West, George Mike, like, what are we doing? John Havlicek.
No Phil Jackson. I get that Red got more than Phil.
I mean, I get that, but look at the awards. I don't know, bro. I just maybe I'm a little stupid, but I just
no. I think like you said, who's the logo? They're gonna give something. He's the logo. So you know what I mean? It is what it is. Till they change the logo.
But comment, you not feel me on that though? Like
I do. I'm 100%. But I mean,
look, Clutch Gene Award. Give it to Big Shot Bob. We need a Robert Ory Award.
Now, there you go.
Robert Ory was clutch too. He was knocking down 3-point. 7 championships on knocking down clutch 3-point shots when you need it the most. Yep.
Yeah. Hey, now you go right there. You go.
Yep.
I wonder who decided who these awards are named after. I don't know who's the panel, who's the committee. I don't know.
Probably owners.
Probably.
Being real with you.
I hear you though. I hear you.
6th man of the year. Give me Jamal Crawford.
Yep.
I won it 5-6 years in a row.
Yep.
Lemon Pepper Lou.
Lou Williams.
You're going
back in the day.
Before you wrap up, I have a question I want to ask. Are we good for me to ask one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. So I watched this, and as a Sixer fan, I think I'm just maybe reading too far into it, but I would love 3 very smart individuals to watch the game of basketball to tell me I'm wrong, because I swear to you, I see it. I swear to you, I said, I'm not sure how many 76ers games y'all watched this year. I know Key has watched a ton. Coach, I know you're a Houston fan, but I'm sure you watched a ton.
Yeah,
Man, I know you watching all NBA, but is it me or does it feel like that Joel Embiid and James Harden do not get along? They don't feel like they fit on a basketball court together. I constantly see Joel smacking his hand like, give me the ball, give me the ball. James Harden's kind of like waving him off, driving to the hoop. When they get to the bench after a play, like Joel takes a bad shot when there's a guy wide open in the corner, you can see James complaining to Sam Cassell. And maybe I'm just reading too far into it as a Sixers fan, but I watch those two and I do not see chemistry that you'd want to see from your two best players. And I almost look at them like they're oil and water. I think James Harden knows the game of basketball from a point guard's eyes, and Joel Embiid is the best player on the team. So, like in Harden's eyes, he's like, this is not the right shot. This is not the right play. And in Joel Embiid's eyes, it's like, give me the damn ball. I'm the best player on the team. And like when I watch them, I don't watch cohesion. I don't watch like, and maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it's just me, but I've watched a lot of Sixers games and like I just read body language. I'm in sales. I've been in sales for 20 years. I can read body language. I can read expressions and looks and just get a feeling. Do y'all not feel that, or is it just me?
You posted that on Twitter, and you know what? I can take you back to Houston. James Harden don't have chemistry with big men. He don't have with scoring people that can score in the paint. James Harden don't have chemistry. Now him and Clint Capella have some awesome chemistry because guess what? You don't have to worry about him asking for the ball. You don't have to worry about him asking for the ball. He loves to pick and roll. Now with Dwight Howard, when he was complaining about the basketball, Harden didn't like it, and Dwight Howard didn't want to play second fiddle. So I do know what that means. Joel Embiid by far is the best player on the team, and you should be able to play through Joel Embiid first before you even consider playing with James Harden. And he doesn't have a great history of playing with guys that can score in the paint. And again, James Harden always feel like that he's the number one guy, that he wants to be the number one guy. At this point, he ain't the number one guy no more. And he should take in consideration that you're no longer the best player on this team. This is Joel Embiid's team. And when you look at body language, you're just looking at a sad James Harden. It was a play, that I know what you was talking about that I saw in the game. James Harden has the ball. Joel Embiid clapping like this at the center of the three. He's clapping like this, asking for the ball. I saw the play. You posted on Twitter. I actually seen you posted. And he's clapping. He's running down the court. He's clapping like this. Wide open. He's wide open. He's wide open at the top of the three. He's clapping. James Harden didn't want to give him the ball. He passes it to the corner. He gets it back. Now all of a sudden, finally, he sees him. He gets it to him. He gets a three. But like I say, the chemistry, like I said, I know what you're talking about. And it's just don't seem too much excitement when they play together. It doesn't seem so much exciting. You don't see James Harden go up to Joel Embiid like that. You don't see Embiid going up to him like that when they make a shot. You just don't see really too much excitement. And James Harden just doesn't fit well with scoring inside big man. He thinks he's still the number one guy, which is that not the case. The offense should go through Joel Embiid every single time. It's okay for James Harden to get ills, but he got to realize you're not the best player anymore up on a championship level team. You're just not.
Well, you see when they run a pick and roll, Joel don't roll. So it's just like they like to play this pick and roll. He don't roll. God damn, my lying. Do Joel roll? They do the pick and roll. What did he do?
He don't roll. He never rolls to the rim because sometimes when you're a shooter, you want to switch it up. When you can shoot, you want to switch it up. You're not trying to make it too predictable, but don't run the same damn play by 30 times. Don't run the same play by 30 times in a ball game when teams know what you're going to do.
I've noticed this throughout Joel's entire career. He does not like he does not like diving to the lane.
Yep.
Without view of the basketball. And I'll explain to you what I mean. His hand-eye coordination is actually really poor. A lot of people don't realize that. He fumbles the ball a lot. He often essentially what happens is he can't run, and he has to see where he's running because he feel like he's going to trip over somebody or step on somebody and get himself hurt. So he can't run a direct line and look at the basketball, so he never rolls. He tries to pick and pop. He's done that his whole career. His whole career he's done that because he doesn't want to run into the lane and get chipped or bumped or get knocked off balance and fall. I've seen it so many times.
And then you got people that can step in there and draw a charge. So you don't want to just run into somebody. And then a lot of big men, the worst thing to do to a big man is throw him a bounce pass. Big man ain't gonna catch no damn bounce pass down there. You don't want that to reach and all of a sudden come up and bump into somebody. So I'm not mad when they run pick and pop because he gives them an option that you either gonna have to let James Harden go to the basket or you're gonna have to have Joel Embiid and step outside. But the worst pass, the reason why people hesitate, like he hesitates, like Gene said, he's not a good, he doesn't catch the ball really well. And then most of the time they do pick and roll, it's a bounce pass. James Harden knows how to bounce pass the ball really good. Joel Embiid ain't gonna go down there, dip that way down here and just catch it. And then all of a sudden see someone in his face or just run over somebody, someone will jump in the charge. So he said, I'd rather go pick and pop. Well, I can just shoot. Well, I have the option to step out there and shoot. They're gonna either leave me open or Harden gonna even have a layup. Like Clint Capella, something like that, that works right there in his favor because he can either throw him a lob or he can either go to a basket. That works James Harden's favor. So James Harden doesn't have the best chemistry with shooting bigs or with bigs that need the ball or with players that even need the ball, period. Him and Chris Paul had an issue. He don't want anybody that needs the ball that can score. James Harden has an issue with. He still feel like he's that guy, which is he ain't a guy on the championship team.
I agree.
Yeah, because then Dante will tell you I was yelling. Like, Joel, you would have had so many points if you just stayed your ass in that paint. I just don't get why he doesn't want to stay on the box. That irks my whole soul. Like, as big as you are, nobody can stop you down there. You're going to get fouled all day long. You rather stop and pop at the free throw line and shoot, or you rather go inside and get easy dunks and layups? I mean, if I was Doc Rivers, I would just tell him stay down there. Don't be at the top of the key. That irks my soul. I don't know about you, Gene, but that's the only thing in B that I hate, that he's at the top of the key so damn much.
I think I can't argue with the fact that he leads the league in scoring. So, like, I understand your point, and I sometimes get frustrated with where he plays also. But I can't argue with the fact that what the numbers he produces constantly are. Also, I think it's a big thing with floor spacing. Like, when you look at the people that are on the court with him, Tobias Harris ain't a sniper, man. He needs floor spacing. He needs to be able to have the ability to drive the lane. Matisse Thybulle, PJ Tucker, they're not snipers. These guys need the ability to – and Maxey loves diving to the lane. James Harden creates all his shots off of either shooting or driving to the lane. So I think that the reason that the offense is always designed for him not to be in the lane is because they don't want you to know it's going to Joel. When Joel's in the lane, they know he's getting the ball 100 times out of 100.
So they're going to send a double team at him because you don't got great shooters. You don't have great shooting. So they're going to send a double team and not let him get in the paint and get the ball out of his hand. So if you had great shooters, they wouldn't be able to do that. They wouldn't be able to do it to you. So that's the reason why he does a pick and pop and he don't post up that much, because you got PJ Tucker. He's inconsistent. You got, when you have Matisse Thybulle on the floor, he's even scared to even shoot a damn basketball. He damn near ain't gonna make a goddamn jump shot to save his life. And you got Daniel House, who just want to come in and shoot step backs like he Steph Curry, like he really could shoot the basketball. And like I say again, it's not too much floor spacing on the Philadelphia 76ers, so that's why they don't go too far in the paint with him. And they're gonna immediately send a double once he's in the post. They're gonna immediately send a double in there because they don't trust the shooting outside.
Good point.
Thanks.
All right, guys, we got another and one in the books. Make sure y'all tune in every Friday night, 10 p.m. On the Sports Empire Network. We got Gene, Coach Dante is blessed to come up here, Con every night. Make sure, if y'all have not watched the Sports Corner with the Con Man every Thursdays, make sure y'all tune in to Con. He has had some awesome guests as of lately. So make sure y'all tune in every Thursday night to watch Con. Gene's on pregame and pigskin every Thursday with Kyle and Godfrey. So we got some great stuff going here on the Empire. Make sure y'all come on and tune in. Dante got football all day tomorrow. So
Gene, how about the Phillies, Gene? How about them Fields, Gene? How about them?
I'm happy. Listen, we say what we want to say. Phillies like looking back at the season, I'm super happy with what they did.
I'm proud of y'all too. Trey Turner, that was a big pickup. I like that pickup. That was an awesomely big pickup right there. I like it.
Listen, and tune in the Wire to Wire too Wednesday night. Just I don't know. Maybe people will want to hear what I have to say. I don't know. We'll see. I'll take my little sly shots at that little bitch on the way out. Victory.
We are going to end on that note. We are going to, make sure y'all come on back next Friday. We have some more NBA topics. Who might be in first? Who's going to be in second? We don't know. But come on in, tune on in. And it's been the N1, and I appreciate y'all guys for being on tonight. Y'all got me up here on a Friday night. I'm not usually up here. That's something. But we're going to get on out of here. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening, and have a good night, guys.
Take care, y'all.
Take care, everybody.